Here in problem number 4, we are going to be writing the equation of this graph, and I left the directions on here that we used when we were dealing with our notes just to remind us how to do this. And it says, identify the equations of the lines that contain each segment or ray. So just a reminder that if we can, we're going to be writing our equation in the format of y equals mx plus b. And as we looked at our left-hand portion, our ray here, and I am going to write that as a ray. We talked about that on video for problem 3. What we see is that we have a b value of 0. And I know that it has an open circle there, but that's alright. Where would, if we graphed the entire line, where would this line cross the y-axis? And it would cross at 0. And then what we need to know is the slope. Slope is rise over run, so pick another point on the graph. I'll pick this one, and we can draw our triangle. And what we did is we rose 1, 2, and then we went to the left 1, so 2 over negative 1, and 2 over negative 1 is negative 2. So our left portion equation is y equals negative 2x plus 0, and we can simplify that into y equals negative 2x. Now on the right portion of the equation, this is just going to be y equals a constant value. Every value on this line, every y value on that line is at 3. It's a horizontal line, and a horizontal line has an equation of y equals. So there is that value. And while we're looking at that, because it's a segment, the domain is a little bit easier to work with. And our domain is going to go from 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 4. Farthest value to the left, which was 0, farthest value to the right, which is 4. We have equals on these two values because it's a solid circle here and a solid circle there. When we go back up here to the left portion of the equation, what we see is that we start at 0 and we continue left forever. So this is going to be x is less than 0. If we were to write that in interval notation, it would have been negative infinity to 0, but this is the way that we can write it in this format, where we typically write a piecewise function. Every x value to the left of 0, not including 0. So now that we have all the parts and pieces of this piecewise function, we can write our equation. G of x, remember, is the same thing as y, so it's going to be negative 2x. And then where we're going to graph it is x is less than 0. And then our second piece is going to be y equals 3. And where we will graph it is between 0, when x is between 0 and 4.